We're going to continue graphing without giving a table. So you're going to have to create the table yourself, right? So the axis of symmetry is the divider of the parabola. First, you're going to find the axis of symmetry using the formula negative b over 2a, right? When a quadratic is in the form of y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. That's where those letters are coming from. The x value of the vertex is the same as the AOS. Remember, AOS is x equals some number. Well, it's the x value of the vertex. You're going to plug the axis of symmetry into the equation to get the y value. This is what we did on Friday, or on Thursday, of the vertex. The vertex should go in the middle of the table. Select two values that are greater than and less than the vertex. Plug these into the equation and get additional points to finish the graph. Don't forget to double check the graph using the value of a. If a is positive, the parabola, remember, if a is positive, the parabola opens which way? Up or down if it's positive? Up. Will open up. If a is negative, the parabola will open down. Okay. Questions? Okay, let's try some more. Exactly like what we did on Thursday, right? Okay. First problem. What is your a value here? Look at your equation. 4. Good job. What's your b value? Negative 8. Bring the sign with it. Very good. And what's your c value? Awesome. Is this parabola going to open up or down? How do I know that it's going to open up? Because the a is positive. So if it's opening up, do I have a maximum point or a minimum point? Do I have the lowest point or the highest point as my vertex? The lowest, so that is a minimum. Axis of symmetry is equal to x equals. We have to do the negative b over 2a to find that, right? Remember, negative b means opposite b also. So what is opposite b? 8, good. Over 2 times how much? I heard someone say 4 because a is my 4, right? A is 4. So that's really 8 divided by, what's 2 times 4? What's 8 divided by 8? 1. So the axis of symmetry is equal to x equals 1. That also is the x point at the vertex, right? So the vertex is at 1 comma something. How do I find what my y value is if I know my x value? Awesome. I plug it into this equation. So I'm going to do 4 parentheses 1 squared minus 8 parentheses 1 plus 1. What is 1 squared? 1. What's 1 times 4? 4. What's 8 times 1? Yep, so we're going to do 4 minus 8 plus 1. What's 4 minus 8? Then add 1. 4 minus 8 is how much? -4, and then -4 plus 1 is -3. So my vertex is at 1, -3. Remember, we put that in the table in the middle spot. And then we did 2 numbers less than it for x and 2 numbers greater than it for x. So what's 2 numbers less than 1? 0 and -1. And 2 numbers greater than 1? 2 and 3. So now, yes, sir.
Did you get x as just a regular one and not a -4?
Because on my formula right here, remember it's opposite b over 2 times a. So a -8 is actually a +8. Other questions, guys? Okay, how am I going to solve for y in these points? Yep, put them into your equation. So in your calculator right now, everybody take out your calculator. Do 4 times parentheses, -1 parentheses squared, -8 times parentheses, -1 parentheses, plus 1. What'd you guys get? 13 is correct. If you didn't get 13, you didn't do your parentheses correctly in your calculator. Do you have to use a calculator on this? Could you also do it in your head? Yes. 0. If I'm plugging in 0, 0 times anything is what? 0. So those cancel out, and what am I left with? 1. Okay, everyone plug in 2 into this equation, and let's see what you get. Plug in 2 on your own. Okay, if I plug in, I do 2 squared, which is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 8 times 2 is 16. So I have 16 minus 16 plus 1, which will give me how much? Yep. When you plug in 3, what do I get? 13. So we should see where it's kind of looping back around. So now we're going to go ahead and graph these. It looks like it only goes up to 10. So 13 will just be a little off the graph, and that's okay. So back 1, up 11, 12, 13. Somewhere right in there. Next one is at 0, 1. Then at 1, -3. 2, 1. And then 3, 13. This is a really skinny parabola. So there's my U-shape. Any questions on that guy? Okay. Next one. What is my A value on this guy? -1. Awesome. What is my B value on this guy? 2. And my C value? -1. I want you to follow the steps of what we just did, and I want you to solve this entire thing. Fill in all these blanks, except for you don't need these 2 down here. We didn't do those 2 up here. Fill in all that information, fill in your whole table, and then graph it, okay? Okay, will this parabola open up or will it open down? Down. Why down? Yep, because my A value is negative. So does that mean it has a max or a min? Max. If I do -b over 2a, that means I'm doing -1, which is a 1. Oh, sorry. No. You're doing -2 over 2 times -1, which is how much? -2 divided by -2 is how much? 1. So x equals 1. Vertex is at 1, comma something. Now, you have to be super careful on this. This negative sign does not go in parentheses. So when I type this in, it'd be -1 squared, like that, plus 2 times 1 minus 1. So 1 squared is 1, but throw the negative on it. That's 2. So it's -1 plus 2, which is 1. Minus 1 is 0. Raise your hand if you got that correct. Your vertex is at 1, 0. Awesome. Very, very good. So what would go on my x's? What other numbers do I need to put in my x's? 0, -1. What else? 2 and 3. All right, so if I plug in -1, -1 squared is 1, throw on the negative, right? So now I have -1. 2 times -1 is -2. So -1 plus -2 is -3. -3 minus 1 is -4. 0 just equals 0. So that's 0 minus 1. So it's just -1. Now if I plug in 2, 2 squared is 4, throw on the negative, so that's -4. 2 times 2 is 4. So -4 plus 4 is 0. 0 minus 1 is -1. And then 3 squared is 9. Throw on the negative. 3 times 2 is 6. And then minus 1. So -9 plus 6 is -3. -3 minus 1 is -4. Okay. So plotting these. Back 1, down 4. 0, down 1. Over 1, up 0. 2, -1. And then 3, -4. We should see, we said before that it should be going down, and it is going down. So we should see that, right? Okay. All right. Any questions on that? Okay. What you need to do now is you need to complete these 3 examples on the next page. When you are done with them, you need to get them checked by me, because you will get points for those. Okay? So complete those 3 examples. That'll probably take us almost to the end of class. So everyone in here needs to get those 3 done before the end of class. Does anyone have a question for me right now? Reminder, you can ask questions as you are going through these if you have them. Okay? So go ahead and work on those.